I feel fortunate to be here. And here's the thing. We got to make this thing count. I mean, if we're going to serve God, we've got to make it count. I mean, my words have got to count. My actions have got to count. My behavior's got to count. Most of all, my testimony's got to count. The Bible says, by the word of your testimony and by the blood of the Lamb, that's how you overcome. Every time you tell it, every time you declare it, it gives you strength and it gives you power. Because you know why? Because when I tell my story and talk about what the Lord did for me, it gives me joy. And the Bible says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. And I gotta tell you something, if you can just muster up a little bit of joy tonight, everything can change. Hit your neighbor and say, you can change. No, don't punch your neighbor. You know what I realize in your country, I can't say that. Because he just assaulted him and he called a popo. I call it a police. Don't assault your neighbor. Hit the neighbor. A popo. Does that mean the police here or no? Okay, does that mean something bad here? Because I'm stupid enough to say something bad. So here we go. I had a good time this morning. I met with all your leaders. And I don't know what it's like here. When I talk, I just ask you not to talk. Because I came here on a 20-hour plane ride, 16 hours from Atlanta. I sat next to somebody who was double the size of me. I was 8 pounds on this side of my body. We had a good time though. I just was joyful the whole way because I got something to be happy about. And whether, I don't know where you come from, but you still got something to be happy about. Because it's not about what we see, it's not even about what we feel, it's about what we know. And we know that we've got a loving God who came to change everything. When I was looking in the Bible and I was deciding what I was going to speak on tonight, the Lord just laid on my heart, I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. You know, when I was talking today to your youth leaders, I had a good time, and actually, today was a little bit rough because last night I got jet lag really bad. So if I say something crazy, it's not my fault. I haven't slept in 2 days. Last night I slept 2 hours, and then I came and spoke to your leaders. And the night before I was on the plane all night, losing 80 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So it was rough. And so today I was in. By the way, I'm staying at this hotel, the Sun Hotel. Okay, I just want to let you know in case you ever stay there, the little green bottles of stuff that's in the bathroom. It's not mouthwash. It's bath gel. That's nasty. I was trying to get fresh and bubbles. Bubbles. It's messed up. Everybody say nasty. And you get it. And you know, I've been on a diet. I've been eating a lot of healthy food. So I've been eating like a lot of fruit, a lot of nuts, a lot of granola bars. You know what granola is? You have granola here? Chocolate chip granola bars. They're my favorite because they taste like candy, but it's good for you. But here's the problem. In America, they have these things come out called Fiber One bars. You know what that is? It's granola bars that they put fiber in. So that it's you know, it just gives you all the bran and all the fiber you need to keep you regular. Okay, don't eat 5 of them. It'll mess you up. You all hear what I'm saying? It'll just mess you up. And so I was thinking about what should I do? What should I do to tonight when I come? And I figured, you know what? I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. And the beginning back right here in Genesis, there's a story here that I just want to talk about. And this is what it says. It says, now the serpent was more crafty than all of the wild animals God had made. And he said to the woman, did you really say, and he said to the woman, the serpent said, did God really say that you must not eat from this tree here in the garden? It said that she walked along and she heard the voice of the serpent. But I want to go back a little bit further. Okay? Before any of this happened, I'll never forget when my wife told me that she was going to have a baby. I told the leaders this morning, I was sitting in my house, and it made me think of this because my wife told me that we were going to have a baby, and I almost had a heart attack. Because I thought about me being a father to a child. That kid's got no chance in the world. He's messed up. Because I'm crazy. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I lost my mind. Y'all hear me? I want you to pay attention. So she told me that we were going to be having a baby, and I remember just freezing on the couch and not knowing what to say. And then I went with my wife because I wanted to be a good husband, so I went to all the birthing classes to teach my wife how to breathe. Like when she goes into labor, you know, baby. It's just like beatbox. Same thing, you know what I'm saying? So except for without the bass, you know what I'm saying? So I basically sat down with my wife and we went to this thing. I taught her how to breathe and do all these different things and how to rub her feet and how to give her ice water and all these things for when she has the baby. And so we went in. I never forget, this is what happened. I'm there. And she says it's time to go to the hospital, and we get there, and she's going into birth, and she's sitting there, and she's getting ready to go into birth, and I'm going to tell your church this tomorrow morning. So listen, she's there, and she looked at me, and I'm rubbing her feet, and I'm rubbing her shoulders, and all of a sudden, when we got there, I was with my first wife. But then after she went into labor, I met my second wife. I called her Anna too. I looked at her and I said, honey, can I get you some ice water? And all of a sudden her head completely went around. And she said, I don't want any ice water. I said, are you okay? And she's like, don't touch my feet. And I was like, okay. I'll never forget it. And I looked at her and I just looked at the nurse. I'm like, could you give Legion some water, please? You know what I'm saying? So it freaked me out. But it made me, so when I thought of this verse, I was thinking back to Adam. And what if you were never born? You were just made. You were there. God formed you, and you're like Adam, and you're there, and you're hanging out. And Adam's there, and he's hanging out, and he's doing his thing, and all of a sudden one day, he says, I ain't got nothing to do. Let me name all the animals that are here. So Adam's there, and he's just like, hippopotamus, rhinoceros, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Maybe not, but maybe. And he was naming these animals, and he had these cool names. Platypus. Really. And then he was getting bored. You know when you're doing something, you're tired of watching the show? Or you hear the same song, you liked it in the beginning, and you sang it, but now you played it over and over again, and now you're getting bored. So he went from platypus to he was like, goat, dog, cat, ant. You hear me? And he's naming the animals, and all of a sudden, God's in, he's like, you know what? This guy, the names are getting shorter. I gotta hook him up. So he's like, you go to sleep. You go to sleep. Here, I'm gonna put him to sleep. And out of him, I'm gonna create a woman. And so all of a sudden, next thing you know, Eve is there. She walked in, she's like, hi. Really. It was kind of like this. Adam was just sitting there, he was doing his thing, and he was kind of minding his own business, and he was asleep. And all of a sudden, he woke up, and it was kind of like he heard this. And he looked over, and all of a sudden, he saw her. And she just kind of came in like this. Hi. Now, any of you boys that are struggling with lust, you ain't gonna struggle no more. Just picture this in a bikini. Hi, Adam. And he looked at her and he was like, what's up? And they hung out and they became friends. They loved each other. And they ruled God's kingdom together. It was a good time. He walked around, and every time she walked in the room, music would play. And he'd be like, hey, Eve, come on over here.